Once again, we welcome everyone to Awake Nigeria, and this is the fourth edition of Awake Nigeria. You're welcome. I welcome you, all our viewers, and I want to thank everyone for the feedback we got concerning the program. And this is a conversation, and it's like we call it Awake Nigeria, connecting the missing dots, connecting the missing dots. We believe that it's important that all Nigerians participate in this conversation so that we can fashion out the kind of destiny we desire for our beloved nation, Nigeria, because we know there's a lot to be done. So today, Dr. Dada is not here. He's on another assignment, so we miss him. That notwithstanding, I have with me today someone I've known for over 40 years, and someone of, I would say, the resume that can do justice to the topic we want to deal with today, because today we'll be dealing with the role of the civil service in the present Nigerian society. And like we do, we want to provide solutions as well. The first edition, we dealt with the first and second, we dealt with religious groups, namely Islam and Christian. The third edition, we dealt with the societal values, the role of societal values and expectations. But today we'll be dealing with the role of the civil service. And our guest speaker on this program today is no other than a two-time secretary to the local government in Lagos, elected vice chairman, Etiosa East, Lagos State, and CEO, Hancock Realtors and Lisa Creations, initiator, Fountain of Hope Development and Empowerment Initiative. And above all, she's a daughter of the Most High. But in Nigeria, we call such people honorable. So we welcome you, Honorable Funmilayo Fidi. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you.
My brother for life.
We bless God.
Actually, being on this program and we talking about putting the missing dots together is the best that could happen now, because this is the time we need this now. This is the time for this. It's long, long, long overdue, and we thank God we're coming up with it. And it's interesting to find out that people that are trying to fix it, we still have people that are very, very much into what happened in Nigeria, people that care about what happens here. It doesn't matter where they live, they still care about Nigeria. I give that to you, boss. Well done. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We have to care about Nigeria because home is home. They used to say that. But let me quickly say this, that I have to admit or confess that I was not that keen about Nigeria in my early years. But I met a lady of note by name Mrs. Fola Akintunde Igodalo. And I want to say that this episode of Awake Nigeria, I want it to be like a tribute to her. I call her Mama Igodalo. And everyone who hears this, who happen to know her, she's going to be with the Lord now. But I was looking on the internet, I got a little write-up about her. I will read the write-up, but I lived with her. I spent time with Mama, and I want to say to anyone who care to listen, these are real civil servants. Not only that, she I would tell people the bit of patriotism in me, I got, if not almost everything about that from her. You see, I'm now far away from Nigeria, but I cannot but think of Nigeria and how we could.
God bless her soul.
God bless her soul. So, who is Mama, the late Mama Fola Akintunde Igodalo? Her full name actually was Fola Yegbe Igodalo. She was born in Okeigbo in Odo State in 1923. Our extended family were traditional religionists, but her father chose to be a Christian. And Mama told me a lot about her father, you know, and how she drew a lot of inspiration from her father. But Mama, very brilliant at her time, to the extent that she won scholarship to go abroad, and she studied London University. She graduated with a degree in economics. At that time, when there was not many people were inspired to put a female child in school. But because she distinguished herself and her father could see farther than anyone else. Mama told me so many stories, but let me just say this. I remember Mama said the day she was supposed to travel, her father by himself put our bag, our traveling bag on his head, on his own head.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh my God!
To the motor park.
Sure.
And while I was talking to Mama and her father, Sister Fumi, I remember yourself too and your father, those letters. My goodness. But the thing is, we will not be going there today because we want this to be a tribute to Mama Igodalo. But thank God for good fathers that impacted or are still impacting the life of their children, especially female children, at a time when not much of that was done. So Mama came back from London, and she was a civil servant. In 1968, she became the first woman to be a permanent secretary in the civil service, Nigerian civil service. She was active in many women's organizations. And for a woman to be at that level of operation in civil service, it was intimidating to many men. But Mama wouldn't care a hoot. She just did her job. And God bless, we give God praise for the life of a notable civil servant like herself, and other notable civil servants that are still serving. And you too served too, madam. So what was your experience? What was your experience? Probably to jumpstart that, I would say, what will you say civil service is? And then, what's your experience, simply put?
Actually, the civil service, what it's supposed to be for, is to be a kind of a specialized body of the government that executes all the policies. They are to make decisions, prepare the programs. They even offer advices to the government. Their role is like, like a mentor for whoever is in government. And for us, the major issue is that in Nigeria, the minimum qualification to even be a president is school set. WAEC. That's secondary school.
Equivalent grade 12 here.
Yes. So you can imagine a senator with secondary school. You can imagine a president with secondary school. How much more the so-called local government chairman? In fact, for some categories, it's school start attempt. You don't even need to pass it. It's good enough that you attempted it. And now, let me just build up a scenario here. A chairman of a local government, elected, of course, elected, now in the office, the first set of people to come and meet him to show him things will be the council manager. The council manager is the head of all the civil servants in the local government. Just like we have the head of service for all the civil servants in the state. Now, then we have a council treasurer and we have the auditor. Those are the highest in the local government. For the state, accountant general, auditor general. These are experts in their line. Most of them are graduates with masters, with PhD. And now, somebody is coming in as the chairman. Of course, the chairman is the chairman. He holds the green pen. They are all under him, but they will need to teach him. And let me tell you the truth. If you're a politician, you're working with them, the more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. If a politician is working with the civil servants.
You will only know whatever they show you.
Sorry, let me quickly jump in there, because you tried to describe civil service, and I actually Google it up here. It said civil servants undertake a wide variety of activities, including analyzing policy options, managing government contracts, and providing frontline support to people using public services, and of course guidance to politicians. So you are right on target right there. So if I understand what you're saying now, that politicians can only see as much as was shown to them by civil servants. In other words, civil servants are the one really running the show.
That is the real truth.
Because, you see, many people tend to blame politicians, right, for everything that happened. They say, oh, it's the local government chairman, oh, it's the governor, oh, it's the president.
You know, the efficiency actually of the civil servants brings in so much efficiency in the running of the government. So every inefficiency will definitely lead to ineffectiveness of the government. So, you see, if I jump in there, if you don't mind, can that be that if a government fails, a particular government fails, it's the civil servants that fail, not actually the politician? Yes, because you see, when it comes to writing papers, everything that has been documented is being done by the civil servants. As a chairman, they give you a civil servant that is directly like your PA. When you need to do some things, is the one that will write the papers. Is the one that will tell you, we cannot take this money from this side to this side. It's meant for this, and it's because they're supposed to actually monitor and guide issues of the local government, or whichever government they find themselves. And you know, this thing actually go on like that. It goes like that from local to state, from state to federal.
That's true. That's true. We have the three levels of government.
Imagine there was something I watched recently. I think the House of Reps, they were actually checking the people already preparing their budget for next year. And a department wrote that they were going to buy maybe 13-point-something billion worth of mosquito nets. All these preparations were being done by civil servants. A politician cannot prepare an accurate, because even at the local government, if you're going to prepare a budget, you have an HOD. The HOD of that department will be a civil servant.
But what
the supervisor, who is like the commissioner, will be a politician.
Okay.
So the HOD will prepare it with a semi-illiterate, so-called somebody with a school cert, sitting beside the master's order to prepare a budget. What can he influence? The only thing the politician influences is that 200 million, can it be 400 million?
Without proper
If
understanding.
A civil servant says no, it's not possible, sir, because this is this. It ends there. But if they start, just like the Bible says, two cannot work unless they agree. So when the politician fails, whoever is monitoring them, whoever is advising them has failed as well.
Yes, you can notice I've been trying to jump in. What if the politician says, okay, I am the chairman, I am the governor, or I am the, whatever the post is, this is what I want you to write. What can a civil servant do in that kind of situation?
You know the funniest thing?
What?
The chairman cannot remove any civil servant. You can only report them to the state, especially from the local government.
But you can make life difficult for them.
You can't remove them. Yes, you can make life, but one of the problems we're actually facing, like I found out, is that because of the political interference in the civil service, we're having issues.
All right.
Because there's no way the chairman would not want to use his power. He's the boss.
Okay. So
meanwhile, the civil
what I
servant
can
has
see,
the right to teach them.
What I can see there, we have been able to identify, for instance, two possible problems with civil service. Number one, let's say ignorance or level of education, that is, and then political interference. All right, so we note
and
those
the political instability too.
Political instability. So can you explain a little more on that, please?
Yeah, like I met a lady who was a cleaner, and they were calling her seven councillors. I said, what is the meaning of 7 councillors? How can one person be? Said she's been there and she has actually passed through 7 different councillors. She was actually serving in the chamber of the councillors. The chamber of the councillors is like the House of Assembly of the local government. It's possible for, like in Oyo State, just a time ago, it was APC. Now it's PDP. Most of the time when politicians get to a place, they try to surround themselves with their own people.
Oh, okay.
So they try to move some people. There might be some people that have been working well, and they will move them, bring in their own people, reshuffle the whole thing. There's this instability, and it's been caused by the political sector because of the change in the parties.
Okay.
But the one that actually surprised me, we have something beautiful going on in Nigeria now, with all due respect. In Oyo State, in December 2019, Oyo State actually passed a bill of anti-corruption agency, bill of 2019.
What does the bill say and what does it do?
Yeah, the bill is actually to restrict civil servants from collecting bribe or
that's a big
collecting
one,
anything at all, or like asking for something before something is done. And it's so stated, it's about 45 pages. I was going through it this afternoon, and I find that a lot of things are embedded. Like one paragraph said that any person who asks for, receive, or obtain any property on behalf of benefit, you can report. There are alarm blowers, whistleblowers. Or like as a contractor, somebody does something, you can report. they actually have an agency set up. They passed the bill. And the governor said, if I'm the one found guilty, I will put down my immunity and answer the agency.
That is the present governor.
Governor of your state.
Can we say that we go for all the other governors?
You see, now we have come to a point in Nigeria where it's no longer about any party. It's about the personality that is good. If you are good, you are good. And this was the only governor that actually declared his assets in the whole of this country. Nobody declared assets again.
That's
so
interesting.
You can get things right, and you can see the civil servants sitting tight. Because if you are caught, you are gone.
Okay.
And they work hand in hand with the ICPC and EFCC.
What is ICPC, for the sake of people who don't know what the full meaning of this is?
Okay. Let me tell you, this one is how do I put it now? I'll get the full this thing, but it's a body actually like in charge of corruption. It's an anti-corruption agency like the EFCC in Nigeria.
Okay.
You know, they put together all these agencies so that to curb some things. But despite all the curbings, you know what is still happening.
All right.
And I would not want to say that it's only to the politicians, sir. Because how come the Abacha loots came to be in a military government?
Is that a question for me? Oh, that's a rhetorical question, I believe.
Yes, now.
If I try to answer,
so if I try to answer, per se, okay, that is the military too.
Yeah, but civilians, sorry, if you don't mind, civil servants are working with military too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And so much money was looted. So it's not really about the politicians. And it's a system that if we can actually work on our civil service, if there are people, you know, I was trying to provide some solutions like if we can just have an anti-corruption system in every, even starting from local government. Though we have a checkpoint with the House of Assembly, they'll come out with the committee on this, committee on local government, and they come and check. We have auditors, but in a political system where somebody comes into power and change the auditor to his cousin, what do you expect?
Yeah.
That's where the political interference.
All right.
Then naturally, civil servants have this negative attitude to work. When I first started, my first tenure as the secretary to the local government, we were using a small office, like a bungalow, because that was the time the local governments were divided into 4. Etiosa was divided into 4. And just the number of people that I was seeing. But when we now got a bigger office, I saw that the whole place was filled. Where were all these workers? People will come when they feel like. I remember my chairman one time said, anybody that does not resume by 8:30, the gate will be locked. I was surprised to see over 300 workers every morning. On normal days, you see maybe like about 40, 50. People think if you want to do other businesses, just be a civil servant.
Very negative attitude.
Like care about work. You know, if we can tidy up all these ends, we'll actually get better than where we are now.
Okay, thank you.
The politicians are guilty, the civil servants are guilty.
Well, because we are looking, and the military too, because you mentioned the military.
Everybody.
But one thing I see from this is that the civil servants are in the center of it all, in the center of governance, whether it's civilian regime, democracy, like politicians or military government. Civil servants are always at the center of it all. And we have been able to identify some challenges with civil service. Number one, hindrance on the part of civil service in Nigeria is ignorance, especially on the part of maybe the leaders. That comes to leadership, and in this way, in this case, that is either a political leader or a military leader, because they are not like career people. They are not professionals. But when they come, they want to go ahead and lead without without proper guidance, receiving proper guidance from careers, career professionals, civil servants. There's a problem right there. So, and I just want to look at a way to coin that challenge. I would say maybe I can call that, let's just say, ignorance on the part of the political leaders of what's supposed to be done. And then we identify political interference. Maybe the two can go together right there. Maybe the two can go together right there. Then we identify instability, political instability, whereby one government comes and then they pack the civil servants that are efficient, they pack them aside, put their own people, even when they are not efficient, but they just want their own people. And then we mention negative attitude to work. Let me quickly ask, are there other points you want to make that has to do with challenges of civil service before we go into solutions?
Actually, most of the other challenges have to do with when we look at it from their own side too. When we look at it from their own side, most times they try to work their transfer to wherever suits them. At times it's not really the posting by the politician all the time. There are times that they will go and work their transfer to be at a place for a particular reason that you and I might not know. Some people, maybe they think, okay, that place is more juicy. Their jack, that's the money we collect every month is higher than this other place where I am. That place will do more work and that kind of a thing. They too, they try to work there. You know, they try to move. Though they don't allow them. Then most of them are not really trained. They need to be trained and be retrained.
Lack of adequate training.
We're not in the internet, world where you can everywhere link, links to the other place. And you'll be surprised that there are so many civil servants that cannot actually operate a computer.
I know.
So they're limited.
Yeah, but I know some civil servants, they go for training, especially if it's training abroad. They like training abroad because that will give more money. And I asked someone the other time, I said, how is this training you are coming from different from the other one? He said, well, that is the time we used to make money.
That is the real truth. They organize training for them at home. If you are expecting about 300 civil servants, maybe a few people will show up the first day, because they know there's nothing really much for them and that kind of a thing. People have to be intentional about things. You see, if the civil servants, if the people are intentional, and I would like to say here, there are very fantastic civil servants.
Thank you for saying that.
I learned some good things while I was in office. My council manager would take me through some things to show me how it's being done. As a secretary to the local government, I was supposed to be signing some papers. I worked under a particular HPM, they call them then. They did not allow me to sign it. Somebody was signing for me because they didn't want me to see it. But this other one came in.
Really?
And she showed me everything and told me, you are supposed to sign this, you are supposed to do this, don't allow anybody to sign for you. Unfortunately for them, the House of Assembly, they were going through our papers and they found out I did not sign them. So they returned all of them, that I should come and sign for about 2 years together. Come and see my table. All the things they were hiding from me, because, as a Christian, there are some things I will not do. In fact, there were some meetings they would not call me into. because they know I will not agree.
Okay, see,
But this wonderful civil servant taught me everything,
if,
and
if
I'm
you
really grateful to her.
if you don't mind me jumping in again, it's like civil servant now, they have a kind of caucus among themselves. They have a kind
You
of
can say
caucus
that
where they
again and
deliberately
again.
go against the laid down principles of civil service, how civil service could actually benefit people, the mercies, and the country. So some gang off, form caucus, and go against that. Is that what you're referring to at some
What
point?
happened is that they actually prey on the innocence of the politician.
Ah.
Like I told you, the more you look, the less you see. What you don't know, you don't know. And unless it's been shown to you, you will not know.
That's very true.
But the very good ones actually want you to know everything and do everything that you're supposed to do. For good 4 years or thereabouts, Lagos State was not paid any money from the federal because of the issue of 57 local government. And we were generating money, and by the time they brought the money like that, and everybody was just doing whatever they like, and some people actually took their time to explain the whole thing, and they will carry everybody along. Though some of the politicians are always coming in, imagine a school start holder, no car, nothing, that they're coming in, they know they'll give them official car, they'll be better. They are actually coming in to get rich.
That's let
So
me
when
jump
you
in
now
there.
meet up with somebody that can help you to do that, the work will go on smoothly.
Yes, for the sake of our time, we have looked into some of the problems plaguing civil service, especially in Nigeria. Now, because we have like 6 minutes more, can we quickly go delve into solution? Number one, you mentioned one, and a good example is what Oyo State is doing right now, the anti-corruption bill. When it's a bill, at least you have something to point to as reference points reference point for litigation if there is a need for it. So what are some of the solutions you think we could profile? For me, okay, please go on, and then I'll come back with my
okay, like recruitment of the civil servants should be based purely on merit.
Recruitment should be based on merit, okay?
Federal character, state of origin syndrome, religious basis, and all those things.
Okay.
If we get the right people to do the right job.
All right. That's another solution.
Civil servants must always be well informed. And, well informed, they know what they are doing, then they have the capacity and they're able and willing to do the right thing. Once in a while, there should be a way of checking and, sifting the bad ones from the good ones. There should be a kind of a process to do that.
That's ongoing monitoring to ensure that the right people, the people that are fit for the job, are the ones that are kept on the job.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other solution, or one or two?
The civil servants themselves should sit up.
Why? Let me ask you, when you say that, why do you think any civil servant should sit up? Because it's not as if they don't know that they should sit up. But do they actually have the rationale? Do they actually, what is the reason? Why should they sit up?
You see, I'm very sure, I was saying people should be intentional about something. If we all decide that we want a better place and a better Nigeria, people can sit up. They know what is wrong. They know what people that are doing bad things, they know themselves. They're just looking for somebody to tell them that you are wrong. They know where they are wrong, so they should sit up and do it right.
Sit up and do it right. That's interesting. Yeah. Yes. I just want to say thank you for your contributions, and I want to say that
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I just want to say that from everything we have said today, if I will sum it up, if Nigeria will be a better place, civil servants need to sit up. Would that be a good summary for all our conversation today? Because they are the ones that are there to analyze policies. They are the ones to managing government contracts. I know you are an estate manager yourself by education and by practice, by training as well, you know. Why is it that civil servants are able to manipulate contracts? And do you think they could do that without the influence of the politicians? Or you are saying the politicians and the civil servants are responsible for that because there's so much going on?
Two cannot work together except they agree.
That's true. So true. So what if the civil servant say, no, I'm not going along with you in this mess? So are you saying politicians cannot go ahead? It's possible.
No. The civil servant writes the papers. A politician cannot present any paper anywhere. Whatever intention you have should be put in paper by the civil servant in charge. The HOD for local government, the PAMSEC for the state government. The commissioner works with the PAMSEC. The commissioner cannot write anything and present it to the accountant general or to anybody. Only civil servants can do that. So a civil servant can say no. There are polite ways of saying no.
You see, what this conversation has brought up to me again is that no matter how we look at it, we all like to blame the people on top, the president, the governor. But actually, it's the civil servants that are supposed to sit up. And I want to say that will be our takeaway from this conversation today. I just want to use this time to say thank you, Mrs. Fumifidi, for showing up on this program, even from afar.
My pleasure.
You're welcome. And I want to just say thank you to all the good civil servants, because there are good civil servants, you know.
Wonderful people.
Yes, wonderful people, patriotic people. I was talking about Mama Ighodalo. Our record stands till tomorrow. You could go to, you know, and there are so many stories to tell about her. But I just want to say again, there's a tribute to Mama Fola Akintunde Ighodalo, a civil servant par excellence. I would say that. And then I want to give a shout out to every other person, especially workers, people in GOLIVETV that made this presentation possible, and the volunteers. So I may not be able to mention the names of everyone, but so if in this podcast room with me, it's one of our volunteers. Please come, just come and wave and say hello, you know, because this is another form of service. With me, just stand by me. So
Hi,
what do you have to say?
darling.
Talk to the mic.
Hello. Hi.
Hello,
Okay,
darling.
we
How are
appreciate
you?
your
God
service
bless
and we
you.
appreciate your effort. And we just want to wrap up today by saying, you know, service is good. Service is good. And I want to encourage every civil servant. Because some people say, oh, well, I'm just a civil servant, and maybe they're ashamed. No, you are see, Jesus Christ came to serve. Anyone who claims to know God, your love for God or knowledge of God, it doesn't matter whether you are Muslim or Christian or Hindu, or your love and worship to God must show in service to humanity. When it's not showing in service to humanity, you are not in touch. you are not in touch. So I want to encourage every civil servant, do all that you do as unto the Lord, because God is the God of all nations. He's the one in charge of the affairs of nations and in charge of the affairs of men. So when you are there as a civil servant in civil service, don't look at it as if it's just an opportunity for you to enrich yourself or to just do whatever. No, you are serving God, actually. That's what I'm saying. You are serving God. Any civil servant that has not gotten to the point where you see your office as a means, as an avenue to serve God, you still have a long way to go. I just want to leave you with that. We say righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach. For a nation to be exalted, the civil service and civil servants need to see themselves not only as serving the nation, not only as serving the citizens of the nation, but serving God as well. I pray and desire that civil service, especially in Nigeria, we turn that new page even as we look forward towards a new and great Nigeria. Not improved, new and great, because we have a lot of potentials, and we still believe God can bring a change even in one day. So with that, we wrap up this episode of Awake Nigeria. Join us next month, viewers, for the next episode of Awake Nigeria. And for now, we say bye-bye and peace. Bye.